وَقَالَ الَّذِي اشْتَرَاهُ مِن مِصْرَ. Now we come to Misr. Now some of the Egyptologists, they have, fixed the year of the entrance of Yusuf into Egypt as 1890 before Christ. And it seems to be like that because, 2000 years or so, 2000 plus was the era of Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam, 2000 plus before Christ. And now because he is the great grandson of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, and he was 17 at this age when he was thrown in the well and he was taken out and then he was sold. That was the 17th year of his age. And it was the year 1890 before Christ. وَقَالَ الَّذِي اشْتَرَاهُ مِن مِصْرَ. Now they brought him to the market of the slaves in Egypt. And said the person who bought him, who purchased him in Misr, in Egypt, limratihi, to his wife, akrami maswa, make his lodgings goodly. Asa yanfa'na, maybe that he gives us some benefit. We can sell him for a higher price. Aw nattakhidahu walada. And it can also be possible that we adopt him as a son. They didn't have any son. وَكَذَلِكَ مَكَّنَّا لِيُوسُفَ. And this is how we establish Yusuf in the land, fil ard. Now it was a cradle of civilization. It was an empire. And this person, he was Al-Aziz. So to say, the chief executive officer, maybe in our terminology, the prime minister, or the senior minister in this system of, for example, in French system, senior chief minister. So he was having a very big position. And now he was lodged in his house, and people were coming over there, high gentry, aristocrats coming, and talking, and he was listening to them. So actually he was trained over there for all the political affairs, all the affairs of community, and all what are the problems, how they are set, how they are resolved, how can they be solved. So all these things, because he was lodged in the house of the chief executive of Egypt. وَكَذَلِكَ مَكَّنَّا لِيُوسُفَ فِي الْأَرْضِ وَلِنُعَلِّمَهُ مِن تَأْوِيلِ الْأَحَادِيثِ. Being there in that high society, at that house, because whenever some visitors would be coming to Al-Aziz of Misr, he would call upon Yusuf, okay, bring this for him and for them, and serve them, and so on. So he was always listening to what was happening. In that way, he gained the capability of interpreting all things, Something is appearing to be something else, and behind is something else. To know what is behind it, that is the Ta'wilul Ahadith. You go to the root, to the background. What is the real cause? What is the underlying cause? So that is actually Ta'wilul Ahadith. لِنُعَلِّمَهُ مِن تَأْوِيلِ الْأَحَادِيثِ وَاللَّهُ غَالِبٌ عَلَى أَمْرِهِ. And surely Allah is all powerful over His command and over His decisions. وَلَكِنَّ أَكْثَرَ النَّاسِ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. But most of the people don't know it. They think what we are doing is best, and it will happen as we are designing it and devising it to happen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may use your ill designs against a person in a way that it becomes beneficial for him. وَلَمَّا بَلَغَ أَشُدَّهُ آتَيْنَاهُ حُكْمًا وَعِلْمًا. And when he reached his maturity, about 18 or 19 years of age, mature, آتَيْنَاهُ حُكْمًا وَعِلْمًا, we gave him the judgment and the knowledge, the wisdom and the knowledge. وَكَذَلِكَ نَجْزِي الْمُحْسِنِينَ. And in this way, we reward the people who do good or who are best in their deen. وَرَاوَدَتْهُ الَّتِي هُوَ فِي بَيْتِهَا عَن نَفْسِهِ. And the woman in whose house he was, she tried to seduce him sexually. وَغَلَّقَتْ الْأَبْوَابَ. And she closed the doors. وَقَالَتْ هَيْتَ لَكَ. And said, come on. قَالَ مَعَاذَ اللَّهِ. He said, my refuge is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I take refuge in Allah. إِنَّهُ رَبِّي أَحْسَنَ مَثْوَايَ. He is my Lord, and He has, kept me here in the best of the ways. My lodging in best way. Now there is a different opinion. Rabbi means either Allah or the master, because the master, who has bought him. This was also an idiom of that time, that he is the Rabb, he is the Lord. This will be used by Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salam to his two companions of the prison. And this word is used for your king or your master, Rabb. So this Rabb, has a very broad meaning. Rabbul Mal, the owner of the capital. Rabbul Bayt, the owner of the house. So actually the Rabb, he was the master, the Aqa, to whom he was a bondsman, because he had bought him. Innahu ahsan rabbi. So I can't do this against him. You are his wife, and he kept me in the best of the ways. Innahu la yuflihu zalimun. Verily, the evildoers can never prosper. وَلَقَدْ هَمَّتْ بِهِ وَهَمَّ بِهَا. And certainly she besought him, and he would also have besought her. لَوْلَا رَا بُرْهَانَ رَبِّهِ. Had he not seen the burhan of his Lord, of his Rabb. Now what is that burhan? Generally it is said that there was a miracle, that on the wall appeared the figure of Hazrat Yaqub alayhi salam, and he forbade him, don't hold to yourself. But Abdullah Yusuf Ali has explained it in a very different way, and I think it's a beautiful way. I can't say that it is the only way, but it is a beautiful way. She was blind with passions and emotions, but Yusuf was spiritually, he was seeing. So actually this was the burhan. He saw Allah, because spiritually he believed in Allah. She only thought that nobody is seeing, because I have already closed the doors. And she was blind due to passions. But Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, because he believed in Allah, who always sees, you are always in his sight. So that was the burhan according to Abdullah Yusuf Ali, and Allah better knows. كَذَلِكَ لِنَصْرِفَ عَنْهُ السُّوءَ. And it was so that we should turn away from him the evil and indecency and all shameful acts, وَالْفَحْشَاء, and all shameful acts. إِنَّهُ مِنْ عِبَادِنَا الْمُخْلَصِينَ. Verily, he was from among chosen bondsmen. This is not mukhlisin. Some people have mistranslated it, sincere. Mukhlis is something else, mukhlas is something else. Mukhlis is ismul fa'il, and mukhlas is ismul maf'ul. And he was one of those whom we have chosen. وَاسْتَبَقَ الْبَابِ. Both of them raced towards the door. Hazrat Yusuf tried to run away, and she chased him. وَقَدَّتْ قَمِيصَهُ مِنْ دُبُرٍ. In this chase, she caught hold of the shirt, definitely from the back side, مِنْ دُبُرٍ, and it was torn. وَأَلْفَيَا سَيِّدَهَا لَدَى الْبَابِ. And it came to happen that they found the Sayyid, the master, the husband of that woman, he was on the door. Now look to the intelligence of this woman. قَالَتْ مَا جَزَاءُ مَنْ أَرَادَ بِأَهْلِكَ سُوءًا. She said, oh, what should be the recompense of the one who tried to have something bad and ill with your wife, who tried to assault your wife? إِلَّا أَن يُسْجَنَ. Except this, that he should be imprisoned, أَوْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ, or some other painful torment. قَالَ هِيَ رَاوَدَتْنِي عَن نَفْسِي. Yusuf said, it is she who tried to seduce me sexually. وَشَهِدَ شَاهِدٌ مِّنْ أَهْلِهَا. Now this is very important. Both of them, two just persons, they appear to be very just. Now a person from her family, min ahliha, belonging to her family, he gave a witness, he gave a testimony. In kana qamiso qudda min qubulin. If his shirt is torn from the front, fasadaqat, then she is correct. She is telling the truth. Wahuwa min al-kadhibin. And he is from among the liars. Wa in kana qamiso qudda min duburin. And if his shirt has been torn from the back, فَكَذَبَتْ, then she is telling a lie. وَهُوَ مِنَ الصَّادِقِينَ, and whatever he is saying is true. وَلَمَّا رَأَى قَمِيصَهُ قُدَّ مِنْ دُبُرٍ. And when he saw that the shirt of Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam was torn from the back, قَالَ إِنَّهُ مِنْ كَيْدِكُنْ. Immediately he said, oh, to his wife, oh, it is from your machinations, from your guile. إِنَّ كَيْدَكُنَّ عَظِيمٌ. Verily, the machinations and guiles of you women are very great. Yusuf aridan haza. Now he appealed to Yusuf. You just ignore it. Don't mention this to anybody. Just, keep quiet about it and just ignore it. Yusuf aridan haza. Wastaghfiri li zambiki. And he said to his wife, and you should beg pardon of your sin, of your ill deed. And innaki kunte min al-khati'in. Verily, you were the evildoer and you were